Chosen one, you have no idea what's coming next. This is the final step. Something deeply important is unfolding around your life right now, and there is a quiet urgency in these words, because what is about to be revealed carries a blessing that many people wait their entire lives to understand. The moment you are standing in is not ordinary, and the path ahead is being prepared by the loving hands of God with a care that reaches far beyond what your eyes can currently see. The story that is unfolding around you carries hope, healing, and a divine purpose that has been forming slowly through every struggle and every silent prayer you whispered during lonely nights. If your heart believes in the goodness of God and the gentle power of Jesus Christ guiding the lives of those who trust Him, take a small moment right now and type Amen in the comments as a simple declaration of faith. There is a reason your spirit has felt restless lately, because the loving presence of God has been preparing you for something greater than the ordinary patterns you once believed were permanent. Every challenge that seemed heavy, every delay that felt confusing, and every door that remained closed for longer than expected was quietly shaping your strength and your patience. God never wastes pain, and Jesus never allows a faithful heart to walk through hardship without turning those moments into seeds that later grow into unexpected blessings. The final step mentioned in this message is not a sudden surprise, but the result of many small steps of faith that you have taken even when the road felt uncertain and lonely. Before continuing deeper into this powerful journey of hope and restoration, take a gentle moment to support this video by leaving a like, because that small action helps this message of faith and encouragement reach more hearts that are searching for light during difficult times. There are people who walk through life feeling forgotten, as though heaven has remained silent while they quietly carry burdens that no one else understands. Yet, the truth carried through the teachings of Jesus Christ tells a completely different story, because God watches over every faithful soul with patience, compassion, and deep attention. The chosen ones spoken about in this message are not people who lived perfect lives without struggle, but people who continued believing in God even when circumstances tried to convince them to give up. The love of God works quietly in the background of life, preparing moments of restoration that arrive exactly when the heart is ready to receive them. Many times, the final step before a breakthrough looks very similar to the moments that came before it, which is why many people fail to recognize when they are standing on the edge of something beautiful. The road may still appear ordinary, the challenges may still feel familiar, and the waiting may still test your patience in ways that feel uncomfortable. Yet the presence of Jesus Christ has been walking beside you through every single chapter of your journey, gently strengthening your faith and quietly guiding your direction. If your heart trusts that God has been working behind the scenes, even when you could not see the full picture, take a moment to type 1111 in the comments as a small act of agreement with that truth. The final step mentioned in this message is not a step of fear or uncertainty, but a step of trust that grows from understanding how deeply God cares about your life and your future. God does not lead His children toward confusion or despair, and the path prepared by Jesus always carries peace, even when the destination remains unseen for a little while longer. You have walked through seasons where hope felt fragile, yet each moment of quiet endurance strengthened the foundation that now supports the blessing that is drawing closer. The love of God has been shaping your character, teaching your heart patience, and preparing you to receive something that requires wisdom, humility, and gratitude. There is also a deeper reason why this stage of your life feels different from earlier seasons you once experienced. Earlier chapters may have focused on learning trust, building faith, and discovering the gentle voice of God, guiding your spirit during times of uncertainty. The season approaching now carries a sense of completion, because the lessons that once felt scattered are beginning to come together like pieces of a beautiful picture finally revealing its meaning. Jesus often prepares his followers through quiet growth that takes place beneath the surface, allowing their hearts to mature before the next door opens. Many faithful people spend years wondering when their moment of restoration will finally arrive, not realizing that heaven has been carefully aligning circumstances in ways that cannot be rushed. The final step is rarely dramatic or loud, because the kingdom of God often moves with a calm and peaceful rhythm that reflects his wisdom and patience. You may look back one day and realize that the greatest miracle was not simply the blessing that arrived, but the transformation that took place within your heart while you were waiting for it. The journey of faith always leads toward deeper peace when the heart continues trusting the guidance of Jesus Christ. The story unfolding in your life right now is not random or accidental, because God writes stories that carry purpose and hope even through seasons that once felt confusing. The final step mentioned in these words is simply the moment when everything you have been learning begins to move forward into a new chapter filled with light. Your life has been passing through that hidden season of growth where the roots of faith become deeper and stronger. Every tear that once felt unnoticed, every prayer whispered quietly during moments of uncertainty, and every decision to trust God, even when life felt heavy, has been shaping something beautiful inside your spirit. Jesus never overlooks the quiet endurance of a faithful heart, because heaven celebrates every moment when someone chooses hope instead of despair. The final step mentioned earlier is not about leaving your past behind with regret, but about stepping forward with a peaceful understanding that every part of your journey has been meaningful. What if abundance had always been influenced by a hidden brain signal, buried in classified records and never fully disclosed to the public? This frequency is now creating new pathways, attracting opportunities, and reshaping lives faster than expected. Thousands are already using it to draw wealth like never before. Click the link in the description and comments now and activate the money-attracting brainwave today. There are moments when people feel tempted to believe that their waiting has been wasted time. The enemy of hope often whispers discouraging thoughts, trying to convince a faithful soul that their patience has not been worth the effort. Yet, the love of God always works in ways that human understanding cannot easily measure. The waiting seasons that once seemed slow were actually moments when heaven was carefully arranging the pieces of a greater plan that required wisdom, timing, and compassion. Jesus often guided people gently, helping them understand that God's work moves with perfect timing rather than rushed impatience. A heart that grows through faith becomes ready to receive blessings with humility and gratitude instead of pride. When God allows someone to reach the final step of preparation, it means that the heart has become strong enough to carry what is about to arrive. The blessings that follow the final step are not only gifts meant to bring joy, but also opportunities to share kindness, encouragement, and love with others who are still walking through difficult seasons. Many chosen souls walk through life unaware of how their quiet faith influences the people around them. A person who continues believing in the goodness of God during difficult moments becomes a living reminder that hope can survive even the darkest nights. Others may watch silently and draw strength from the courage they see in someone who refuses to abandon their trust in Jesus Christ. In this way, the life of a faithful believer becomes a light that gently shines without needing to demand attention or recognition. As your journey continues, there is a peaceful shift taking place within your heart that may feel difficult to explain with simple words. Earlier seasons may have been filled with uncertainty, yet this moment carries a quiet sense of calm, confidence that God is guiding the road ahead. The peace that grows within you is not created by circumstances alone, but by the presence of Jesus walking beside you through every step of the journey. When the heart begins to feel this deeper peace, it often means that the final step of preparation is drawing closer. If your heart feels comforted by the gentle truth that God never abandons those who trust Him, take a small moment to type 2323 in the comments as a simple sign of faith and gratitude. The love of God does not rush people through life without purpose. Every season has been filled with lessons that shape the strength of your character and the depth of your compassion. Some seasons taught patience when things did not move as quickly as you hoped they would. Other seasons taught forgiveness when the actions of others caused pain that seemed difficult to understand. Through every experience, Jesus continued guiding your heart toward a deeper understanding of grace and kindness. This transformation inside your spirit is one of the greatest miracles that can happen in a human life. Many people search the world hoping to find peace through achievements, possessions, or recognition, yet true peace grows quietly through faith. A heart that learns to rest in the love of God discovers a strength that cannot easily be shaken by temporary storms. The final step mentioned earlier is connected to this inner transformation, because God prepares the heart before revealing the full beauty of what lies ahead. When the time finally arrives for new doors to open, you will recognize them not through fear or confusion, but through a calm sense of assurance. The voice of Jesus often guides people through gentle conviction rather than loud pressure. When something is truly part of God's plan, it carries a quiet peace that settles inside the soul like warm light filling a dark room. This peaceful guidance will help you step forward with courage, knowing that heaven has already prepared the way. Your life has meaning far beyond what the world sometimes recognizes. The struggles you endured did not reduce your value but strengthened the compassion you now carry for others who are hurting. The prayers you once whispered in silence have been heard by a loving God who understands every emotion that lives inside the human heart. Nothing about your journey has been forgotten or overlooked. The final step of preparation is also a moment of deep gratitude. When people look back on their journey and recognize how faithfully God has guided them, their hearts often become filled with humility and appreciation. Gratitude transforms the way a person walks forward into the future because it reminds them that every blessing comes from a loving Creator who cares deeply about their life. The presence of Jesus continues to bring light into places where fear once tried to grow. His teachings remind us that love has the power to overcome bitterness and that hope can survive even the longest night. When a faithful heart reaches the final step of preparation, it means that God is ready to reveal the next chapter of a story that has been written with care and wisdom. The next chapter does not remove every challenge from life, yet it brings a deeper understanding that you are never walking alone. The peace of God becomes a steady foundation that supports you through every moment, whether the road feels easy or difficult. This peace allows you to move forward with quiet confidence, trusting that heaven continues guiding your steps. If your spirit feels strengthened by the truth that God is leading you towards something meaningful and beautiful, take a gentle moment to type "Yes" in the comments as a declaration of faith. The journey ahead carries light that will gradually become clearer as each step unfolds. The love of God has been surrounding your life from the very beginning, even during moments when it felt hidden behind the clouds of uncertainty. The teachings of Jesus remind us that faith grows strongest when it continues trusting, even before the full picture becomes visible. A concealed brainwave once stored in classified files is said to ignite strong prosperity. In just 7 minutes, you can unlock the switch in your mind that draws abundance like a magnet. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate your hidden wealth wave right now. You are not standing alone at this final step. Heaven has been walking beside you through every moment of growth, every season of waiting, and every prayer that rose quietly from your heart. The next chapter of your life is already being prepared with care, and the peace of God will continue guiding your spirit as you move forward with hope, courage, and quiet joy. The journey you have been walking has not been random or forgotten by heaven. Each step you took while trusting God built a foundation that is now strong enough to support the blessing that has been forming in the background of your life. God often prepares His children through seasons that seem quiet from the outside, but are deeply powerful within the spirit. During those seasons, the heart learns patience, humility, compassion, and a deeper understanding of the love that Jesus showed to the world. The final step spoken about earlier is not a sudden event that arrives without preparation. It is the gentle moment when the lessons learned through many seasons of faith begin to bloom into something visible and meaningful. God allows this moment to arrive when the heart is ready to carry it with wisdom rather than pride. A blessing received too early may confuse the heart, yet a blessing received at the right time brings gratitude and peace. Many faithful people once believed their struggles meant they were being overlooked by heaven. Yet the truth carried through the life and teachings of Jesus Christ reminds us that God sees every tear, every effort to remain kind, and every prayer whispered quietly in hope. Nothing about your journey has been ignored or forgotten. The seasons that once felt slow were actually moments when heaven was shaping the strength of your character. A person who walks closely with God often begins to notice a calm sense of guidance forming within their spirit. This guidance does not appear as loud pressure or overwhelming urgency. Instead, it feels like a peaceful awareness that the road ahead is being arranged by loving hands that understand every detail of life. Jesus leads His followers with patience, allowing them to grow stronger before opening the next door that will move their story forward. The final step mentioned earlier carries this same peaceful quality. It is not something that forces you forward with fear or confusion. Instead, it invites you to walk with quiet trust, knowing that the presence of God continues guiding each moment of your life. When a person reaches this stage of faith, they begin to understand that the greatest miracle is not simply receiving blessings, but recognizing how faithfully God has walked beside them through every season. Sometimes the heart remembers the earlier days when hope felt fragile and uncertain. There were moments when the future appeared unclear, and the road ahead seemed hidden behind a wall of unanswered questions. Yet even during those moments, the love of God never stepped away from your life. Jesus continued walking beside you with gentle patience, strengthening your spirit even when you could not see the purpose behind what was happening. The chosen ones spoken about in this message are people who kept trusting God even when the world around them felt confusing. Their strength did not come from having easy lives, but from believing that God was still good even during difficult seasons. That quiet faith became the seed that allowed their lives to grow into something meaningful and full of hope. If your heart feels encouraged by the truth that God has been guiding your journey even during moments of uncertainty, take a moment to type 2020 inches, the comments, as a simple declaration that you believe miracles are possible. Faith grows in a beautiful way when it learns to rest in the love of God instead of worrying about every unknown detail of the future. The teachings of Jesus remind us that the heart becomes stronger when it learns to trust rather than fear. Trust allows the soul to breathe peacefully, knowing that the Creator of life understands every challenge and every hope that lives within a person's heart. As you move closer to the final step of this season, you may notice a gentle shift within your spirit. The worry that once filled your thoughts begins to fade, replaced by a quiet confidence that God is guiding the road ahead. This calm confidence does not come from having every answer, but from recognizing the steady presence of Jesus walking beside you. His presence brings peace that settles deeply within the soul. The story unfolding in your life carries a purpose that extends far beyond your own experiences. God often blesses His children in ways that allow them to become a source of encouragement for others who are still searching for hope. The compassion you develop during difficult seasons will help you understand the struggles of others with kindness rather than judgment. In this way, the blessings that arrive in your life will become part of a greater story that spreads light and comfort to many hearts. Jesus showed the world that love is the greatest power anyone can carry through life. A person who chooses love, even after walking through hardship, becomes a living example of the grace that God offers to every human soul. The transformation that takes place within a faithful heart becomes more valuable than any temporary reward the world could offer. The final step is not simply about reaching a destination, but about stepping into a new chapter where your faith continues to grow deeper. God never stops guiding His children, and the journey of faith continues unfolding with new lessons and new moments of joy. The road ahead may still include challenges, yet the peace of God will remain a steady light guiding your path forward. Every moment of your journey has been preparing you for this stage of growth. The patience you developed during waiting seasons taught your heart to remain calm even when life moved slowly. The kindness you offered during difficult moments strengthened your compassion for others who were hurting. These qualities are treasures that will continue shaping the beauty of your life. If your heart trusts that Jesus is leading you toward a future filled with hope and gentle blessings, take a moment to type 1212 in the comments as a quiet sign that you choose to walk forward by faith. Deep within your brain is a small area tied to wealth and success, once hidden in restricted studies and classified documents. This newly uncovered frequency is helping people exchange financial stress for ease, and God has led you to see this message at this very moment. Click the link in the description and comments to activate this hidden brainwave now. The presence of God continues surrounding your life with care that never fades. His love does not disappear during difficult moments, but remains steady through every season. Jesus continues guiding the hearts of those who trust Him, leading them toward peace that cannot be taken away by temporary troubles. The next chapter of your journey will slowly reveal the meaning behind many experiences that once felt confusing. What once seemed like delays will become clear as moments that allowed the right circumstances to come together at the perfect time. God works with patience that sees far beyond the limited view of human understanding. As the story of your life continues unfolding, you will begin to see how every step of faith has been leading towards something meaningful. The love of God has been present in every chapter of your journey, quietly guiding your spirit toward a future that carries hope, healing, and gentle joy. The final step that has been spoken about throughout this journey is not a moment of pressure or fear, but a moment of peaceful readiness. God does not rush His children into situations they are not prepared to carry with wisdom and humility. Instead, He patiently shapes the heart through life's experiences, allowing strength and understanding to grow naturally over time. The struggles you once endured were never meaningless, because each one shaped the resilience that now lives inside your spirit. Every season of waiting carried a quiet lesson that prepared you for this stage of your life. There were days when patience felt difficult and moments when hope seemed fragile, yet you continued holding on to faith even when the road appeared long. Jesus always honors a heart that remains faithful during uncertain seasons. Those moments of quiet perseverance became the foundation that now supports the blessing drawing closer to your life. The love of God has always been present within the small details of your journey. Even when circumstances seemed ordinary, heaven was gently arranging moments that would later reveal deeper meaning. God's work often unfolds slowly because true transformation inside the heart cannot be rushed. A person who grows through faith learns to carry peace even when the future has not yet revealed every detail. Many people believe that a miracle must appear in dramatic ways to prove that God is working. Yet the most powerful miracles often arrive quietly, changing the direction of a person's life without loud announcements or sudden noise. A gentle opportunity may appear, a door that once seemed closed may open unexpectedly, or a deep sense of peace may guide your spirit toward a new path. These quiet moments often mark the beginning of something beautiful that God has been preparing for a long time. The final step of preparation is closely connected to trust. Trust grows when the heart remembers how faithfully God has guided every earlier chapter of life. When you look back at the path behind you, there are moments where it becomes clear that certain events happened exactly when they needed to happen. The timing may not have made sense in the moment, yet with patience the purpose gradually becomes visible. Jesus taught that a faithful heart becomes strong through love, humility, and compassion. The lessons you learned during difficult seasons have shaped your character in ways that will now help you step forward with wisdom. God does not simply lead people toward blessings for their own comfort. Often, those blessings become opportunities to encourage others who are still walking through difficult moments. Your story carries value that extends far beyond what the world sometimes recognizes. The kindness you showed during painful seasons, the patience you practiced when life moved slowly, and the faith you held onto during uncertain moments have all become part of a greater purpose. A heart shaped by faith becomes a source of light for others who are searching for hope. If you feel grateful for the way God has quietly guided your life through every season of growth and challenge, take a moment to type 1919 inches the comments as a simple act of appreciation for the miracles that are forming. As this journey continues, you may begin to notice a calm confidence growing within your heart. Earlier chapters of your life may have been filled with uncertainty about what would happen next, yet now there is a deeper awareness that God is still leading you forward with wisdom and love. This peaceful confidence does not come from having complete control over life's circumstances, but from trusting that Jesus continues walking beside you. The presence of Christ in a person's life brings a special kind of peace that cannot easily be shaken by temporary difficulties. This peace does not remove every challenge, but it changes the way the heart responds to those challenges. Instead of fear taking control, faith begins guiding each step with quiet assurance that God remains present. The final step mentioned throughout this message represents a moment when the journey of preparation becomes clear. The lessons you once struggled to understand begin forming a beautiful picture of growth and transformation. The waiting seasons were never wasted time, but necessary chapters that strengthened your ability to carry the blessing that is arriving. When God prepares someone for a new season of life, He often begins by strengthening their heart rather than changing their circumstances immediately. The heart must learn patience, compassion, and gratitude before it can fully appreciate the beauty of what God is about to reveal. Your journey has been shaping these qualities within you, quietly preparing your spirit for what lies ahead. There is also a deeper joy that comes from recognizing how much God has cared for you throughout every chapter of your life. Even the moments that once felt painful carried hidden lessons that later became sources of strength. The love of God has been guiding your path from the very beginning, even during times when it felt difficult to recognize. If your heart chooses to trust that Jesus is continuing to lead you toward a future filled with hope and restoration, take a moment to type "yes" in the comments as a simple affirmation of that faith. The road ahead will not erase the past, but will reveal the meaning that was hidden within it. The experiences you once carried with confusion will begin to show their purpose as part of a larger story written by a loving God. Every moment of faith, every act of kindness, and every prayer whispered quietly has been part of this unfolding journey. Jesus continues walking beside those who believe in his love and guidance. His presence brings comfort during uncertain moments and courage when new steps must be taken. The final step you are approaching is not an ending, but a doorway leading into a new season where faith continues to grow deeper. A 7-second brainwave approach, previously limited to elite groups and stored in classified files, is now available to everyone, and many call it the 30-second miracle. Researchers claim it stimulates a dormant brain center associated with prosperity and blessings. Click the link in the comments below before it is removed from the internet again. The peace that now fills your heart is a sign that God has been preparing you carefully. You are not standing alone at the edge of this new chapter. Heaven has been guiding each moment of your journey, and the love of God will continue surrounding your life as the path ahead slowly reveals its beauty. The final step mentioned earlier carries a peaceful meaning that reaches deeper than simple change or temporary success. It represents the moment when everything you have learned through faith begins to move forward into a new season of purpose. God does not lead his children toward confusion or emptiness. Instead, he guides them toward growth that strengthens their hearts and allows them to walk through life with greater love, wisdom, and compassion. When a person walks closely with God for a long time, they begin to notice how each chapter of their life connects with the next in quiet and meaningful ways. The struggles that once seemed heavy slowly become part of a story that reveals the kindness and patience of heaven. Every difficult moment you endured helped shape the resilience and understanding that now lives within your spirit. Jesus always works gently within the heart, teaching lessons that become valuable treasures later in life. The love of God has never been distant from your journey. Even when certain days felt lonely or uncertain, heaven was still watching over your path with care and attention. God understands every emotion that lives within the human heart. He sees the silent prayers, the quiet hope that continues to grow even when circumstances appear difficult, and the faith that remains steady during seasons of waiting. The final step is not simply a destination but a doorway into deeper understanding. It is the moment when the lessons of patience, trust, and humility begin to reveal their purpose. Many people reach a point in life where they suddenly realize that their earlier struggles were shaping something beautiful inside them. What once felt like burdens slowly become sources of strength that allow them to walk forward with courage and compassion. A faithful heart often learns to see life differently after walking closely with Jesus for many seasons. Instead of focusing only on the visible results of each moment, the heart begins to appreciate the quiet transformation that happens within. Faith teaches a person to recognize the presence of God in small and meaningful ways. A peaceful morning, a kind word shared with someone who is struggling, or a moment of calm after a long season of uncertainty can all become reminders that heaven is gently guiding every step.